Hello everyone, welcome to the session. So in the previous session we have seen about the other agile process. We have started the topic of other agile process methods. So yesterday we have seen, in the last session we have seen one of the other agile process method, that is the adaptive software ASDM. So now let us go for the next topic of that, Scrum. So Scrum is nothing but it is also one of the other agile process method. So what is Scrum? Before going to the Scrum, let us go for the previous unit 1. In unit 1 we have read about the some process activities. Some process activities. In that process activities we have seen about the framework activities. So in this framework activities, we have the set of frameworks. What are those? The first one is the planning. Second one is analysis. And third point is design. And next one is coding and implementation. And lastly is the deployment. We can also say the deployment word as a delivery. That means giving the product to the end user. So these are the framework activities. Why we are recalling these framework activities are, so in order to to follow the framework activities, so this is Scrum is used. This is Scrum will be used. So what is Scrum? So Scrum is also one type of a agile method which is used to develop a product in software environment. So what we do in Scrum is, so what are the framework activities? In order to carry out these framework activities, Scrum is divided into some parts called sprints. Sprint, S-P-R-I-N-T, sprint. Sprint is nothing but it is one of the work activity. That means some of the activity. So we are saying that whatever the project is carry on, the project will be divided into some units. So whatever the unit we divided, in that unit, in order to carry out the activity, in order to carry out these framework activities, so that is those activities are called as a sprint. What we are called as unit as a one part of a software product to carry out on the software development. Like that in Scrum, sprint is the one technical word which is used to carry out the some of the activities of the framework. So these are the activities. In order to carry out these activities of one unit of the product, so that is called as a sprint. So in sprint, what they will do is, they will take some activities. These are the framework activities. In order to carry out these framework activities without any objections, so that means without any problems or without to avoid some errors or to avoid some obstacles. So sprint is the one activity will be carried on in the Scrum. So after this, in Scrum we have the some of the process. What are those processes are? The first point is some of the activities. These are the activities of the framework which are carried out in the process. So sprint is the unit of a product. Unit of a product to carry out the activities of a small unit is called as a sprint. This is the one technical word. So in Scrum, in order to follow these framework activities without any obstacles, so we have the some of the meetings. So what are those? So some of the activities in the Scrum. So these are the activities followed in the Scrum. So what are those activities are? First one is backlog. And second one is Scrum meeting. third one is sprint, and fourth one is demo. So these are the activities that are carried out in the Scrum. So what is a backlog? Let's go for the one of the activities of the Scrum. So what is a backlog? So backlog is nothing but it is the process of activities that will be carried out. That means one flow of work. The flow of work is done in the backlog. So in backlog it will store the requirements, all the requirements for the agile implementation, agile process. That means whatever the things you want to implement in middle of the product, in middle of the process. So some of the changes as per the requirement of the stakeholders, whatever the things you want to implement in the middle of the system. So this backlog is a one term will be used in the Scrum. So next one is the Scrum meetings. What is the Scrum meetings? So we are telling this, the part is the Scrum. So what are these meetings? So in Scrum meetings, in Scrum, there is a one team leader. We can also say project leader, team leader or project leader. He is called as a Scrum leader. Okay, this Scrum leader will take over of the all the activities, all the things, whatever the teams are doing. So what are in the team, what are the people are doing, so what are the process they are doing, what are the tasks they are done. So everything will be noted by this team leader. So they will conduct some Scrum meetings. So Scrum meetings will conducted every 5 days. Every 5 days. This Scrum process will be carried out for the projects which are have to be completed within a short time. For short time projects, this Scrum is used. So for every 5 days, the Scrum meetings will be held. So in this Scrum meeting, what they will think is, what they will do, what they do since last Scrum meeting. So whatever the meeting happened in the previously, from then onwards, what to the work they had done. So that is the one point they will carried out in the Scrum meeting. And second point is, what are the obstacles? That means what are the obstacles, or what are the what is the difficult they are facing while developing of the project. And thirdly, what is their implementation? So what they are implemented. So is their process is getting very smoothly, or they are getting any problems. So these are the 3 points that will be carried out in the Scrum meeting. So this Scrum meeting will be done by the team leader, project leader. We can also call it as a Scrum leader. Okay, so this is a Scrum meeting. And next one is the sprint. So sprint is nothing but, so previously I said the sprint is nothing but it is a small unit. So whatever the units they want to complete, whatever the things they have to do. So this sprint, they used to go for the sprint. In sprint, so the work they have to complete it for every 20 days or 30 days. In sprint, whatever the activities they are carried out, they will be checked in the sprint. And next one is the demo. So demo is nothing but, so how people are getting the demo from the others. See, for example, the faculty first you will give the demo about what is the subject, what is the course is going on, what is the thing you have to need to read, like that. In the software project also, after the developing of the project, so they will give some demo to the end users. That means customers. So they will not give the demo about how they are developed. They will give only how the work is, how the output is we can get. What is the process they are doing. So that means how the product will be give the output. So what in type of input if you are given, what type of output it will give. So this is the process things they will be given in the demo. So let us see the diagram of the Scrum. Diagram for the Scrum. So first they will go for the this is some project blocks we call as the sprints. These blocks are, so after these blocks will come to the over here. So they will have the time limit of 30 days and one time limit for every 24 hours. So for every 24 hours in the time period they will go for the some Scrum meetings. So Scrum meetings will be done by the some Scrum leader. So this is a block diagram from the for the Scrum. So this is about the Scrum. And coming to the next topic, dynamic system development method. So we can call as a DSDM. So what is this dynamic system development method? So before going to the dynamic system development method, so first we will say about the one principle, that is Pareto principle. So who is a Pareto? What is the principle? Why we are utilizing this principle in this method? So Pareto principle is a one of the contributor for this in the business system. So what he did is he implemented one principle, that is 80/20. This principle we can also call as a 80/20. So what is this 80/20? That means if you are giving the 20% of input and you are getting that 80% of output, so that is a Pareto principle. Or else we can also say that if you manufactured 80% of computers, out of that 20% are crashed. So this is a Pareto principle. How this Pareto principle is utilized in this DSDM? So in this DSDM method, so whatever the project they are going, whatever the software product they are developing, that software product they will implement only the 80%. Only up to 80% only they will develop the software product. So after that what they will do? So after that the remaining 20% of the software product will be under agile methods, agile process. That means if the customer after utilizing this 80% of the product, if he wants more and more we can say requirements, more and more requirements if he given, or else more and more requirements or changes. So these requirements and changes will be implemented by 20% in the DSDM. Whereas in other methods we implement the completely 100%. Whereas in DSDM meaning it's a dynamic systems development method. That means while developing only they implement the changes. Whatever the changes, the requirements according to the stakeholder, they will develop in the 20% of the percentage. They will develop the some changes will be done. So dynamically, so while developing only they will change the some requirements or changes according to the stakeholders. So this is a DSDM. So let us see. So let us see what is a DSDM. So in DSDM life cycle defines it 3 different iterative cycles. What are 3 iterative? So 3 different life cycles. Apart from the 3 different life cycles, 2 more life cycle attributes also included in that. So in DSDM we have only the 3, but 2 more are implemented. So as per the Pareto principle, 80%, other 20% are implemented. So what are those principles? First one is a feasible study. Feasible study. So what is a feasible study? Feasible study is nothing but the way we are the project team members, they have to go for some study of before the project is going to be developed. So what is the study is nothing but what are the requirements given by the stakeholder. So what are the things they have to develop. So if there is any previous existence of this system or there, so by this previous system we have to implement some more. So what type of requirements he want, so what type of methods we have to implement in this method, in this project. So like that everything they have to carry out. So that is a feasible study. And second one is functional model iteration. So functional model iteration is nothing but, so in the functional model iteration, so in the functional model iteration we have to, so we have to go for the some requirements. So in feasible study we take the requirements from the stakeholder. In functional model iteration, so we have to implement the some of the models, some of the designing product, designing phase we have to implement in this functional model iteration. And next, thirdly is the design. So in the design method what we have to do is, in the design method we have to design the architecture. So whereas in this functional model iteration, in the functional model iteration we have seen the requirements, that is what are the hardware infrastructure they want, whatever the methods we have to implement, what are the code language we have to provide implement in order to get the software product. Whereas in design and build iteration, so in this we have to design the architecture. So whatever the architecture we have, according to that we have to develop the design. So designing means we have the so many of the designs like UML, everything. So what are the tools we are using for the designing of the architecture, and what is the type of code language we are using. That means we have the different languages, C or C++ or Java or Python, whatever the iteration we are doing over here. So iteration is nothing but incrementation. So while designing, so what about the feasible, in feasible study we have to get the some more requirements later on, then we have to again make the modifications in the design part and we have to build. And fourth point is the implementation. So implementation is nothing but, so whatever the things we have studied from the three parts, feasible study, functional model iteration and design and build iteration. So from these 3 points, whatever the things we gathered, whatever the models we have to prepare, we prepared, so those how to implement it in the existing, physically we have to implement. Whatever the 3 things we have done is the some virtual, that means we just design the product on paper, but whereas in implementation we have to design the product in the existence. So this is about the dynamic system method. So next other agile model is a crystal. So what is crystal? So up to now we have seen the Scrum and next DSDM and now Scrum crystal. So crystal. So crystal is nothing but so this is one of the agile process method. So in this crystal method is given by the Highsmith and Cockburn. So Highsmith is a Cockburn, one of the contributor, and Jim Highsmith. Jim Highsmith is one of the contributors. So this they created this crystal family. So of agile methods, in the agile methods, crystal family is crystal is one of the family. What they do is, in this in order to achieve the software product, in order to achieve the software development approach, whatever the things the other agile methods what we are using, they are using for the development of the software product. That means how to achieve a software product development in a smooth manner without any distractions like that. In order to carry out this, these methods are came into existence. So crystal is one of the family of that. So in this crystal, in order to achieve the software development approach, so they put say maneuverability. Maneuverability is nothing but the meaning of maneuverability is something they have to implementation, new evaluation. during what they are characterized in the two goals. Two goals are there. So the first primary goal is of delivering the useful working software. So in this crystal agile method, the first primary goal is to deliver the useful and working software, and next secondary goal is of setting up for the next game. That means setting up for next increment. That means whatever the changes we have to require. For example, now we are using the mobile phones, Android mobile phones. In the Android mobile phones, we are getting the so many of the changes from one version to the another version. So different models are came into existence. Why the different models are came into existence? So first model is having the some defects. In order to cover those, or some customers require some more requirements of the first model. Maybe they want some face lock, or they want some lenses to be more and more with 16 pixel or 18 pixel, like that. They want some frames designing. So according to the requirements, the mobile phones are models are designing more and more and getting into the market. So how they are getting like that? By using these agile methods. So existing product, by using the existing product, they are developing the some more some increments, or doing as per the requirements for the customer or the stakeholder. So while implementing all those things, we are getting the some new model into the market. For example, laptops, your laptops also. First they have the laptops of some huge weighted ones. Now we are getting the some slim laptops. So, and now we are also getting the some yoga type laptops. That means we can bend them any way. That means any side we can bend. So why we are getting like that? So those are the requirements of the customers, the users who are required some needs. According to their needs, they are asking the some developers implement these. So according to that, they are implementing. Okay, so this is a crystal is a one of the agile method. So in this agile method, we have the two goals. One of the primary goal is to delivering of the useful and working software, and secondary goal is setting up for the next game. Next game means, so if there is any changes or if there is any modifications if you want to do, so they have to set up for that product. So if they are a customer or a stakeholder or a developer want to create some more changes or some more implications, then they will go for this second goal. Okay, this is about the crystal. And next one is the future driven development. So FDD, this is the FDD. This is one of the agile method. So what is this FDD is? FDD was developed by one of the developer. So he used the concept of object oriented software engineering. So object oriented software engineering means object oriented software engineering. This is the one of the technique. So you people are learn about the Java. So in Java we have seen that Java has a one feature, that is the object oriented feature. Oops, we can say that object oriented programming. So what is the object oriented programming? That means the whole program will depends upon object. So what is an object? Object is a real world entity. We say that object is nothing but it's a real world entity. That means the object may be person, the object may be a place, the object may be a thing. Whatever it is, we can say that object as a real world entity. That means that is existed one. So basing upon the object, the whole program will be depends in the Java, like that. So in the software engineering also, code is one of the contributor for the software engineering. So he developed he and his team in early 1990s. This object oriented software engineering concept came into existence for this agile methods. So what they did is, so like other agile methods approaches, FDD adopts a philosophy. What a philosophy is? So first point, emphasize collaboration among people on, so emphasize. The first point is emphasize. So emphasizes collaboration among people on an FDD team. So FDD is the feature driven development. Okay, and second point is manages problem and project complexity using feature based composition, decomposition, followed by the integration of software increments. So whatever the software increments we will do over there. And thirdly is the communication of the technical detail using verbal, graphical and text based means. So whatever the things, so in the FDD adopts three processes. One is philosophies. Philosophies are nothing but they will follow this process. So first one is emphasize collaboration among people on the FDD team. So FDD team is one of the team. How the Scrum is having a one team, how software projects will have the different teams, like that FDD is a one of the team. So in this FDD team, what they will do is first they have to get the collaboration with each and every people who are working in the team. So they have to work. And secondly, manages problem and project complexity using feature based decomposition. So whatever the features, that means if they want some other features, they have to implement. So they have to implement those features. So if they want to decompose those features, so they have to decompose. Decomposition is nothing but removing those features. So features are nothing but some of the things. I mean, for example, mobile phone having the some fingerprint. So fingerprint sensor is one of the feature of that phone. So if you remove that feature and if you want to implement some other feature like face recognition, so that is one of the feature. Like the different features we have to implement in this feature driven development. Okay, and thirdly, the communication between the technical details. So whatever the details, that means whatever the things they are implementing in the software development, like images or the graphical whatever the graphical icons they are using, and whatever the text based menus are they are using. So whatever they are implementing, they have to communicate to his team members. So I am implementing this type of graphical image in this, so according to that it has to work. So we have to write code for that. Like that we have to see each and everything. So this is about the feature driven. So there is a diagrammatic view of this. So this is the feature driven development diagram. So in this feature driven development diagrams, for firstly we have to go for the develop overall the model. So this is the first phase. In this first phase, they will go for the some building a features list. What are the features I have to implement? What are the features I have to build in the product? So they have to go for this next step. And thirdly, they will go for the plan. So what are the features they are listed? So what are the plan I have to do? So what are the things I have to consider? So in what way I have to achieve the features list? What are the different features? Features are nothing but say what I am saying, that having the 2 more lenses, or having the batteries capacity, increasing the capacity of the battery, or else the phone panel, the screen has to be increased some more large, like that. So there are some features. So in order to what are the listed out in the features in the next step, that is carried out in the third step by using the planning. So how they have to how they have to model. So the phone by implementing these features, the model of the phone, how it will be like. So designing or planning they have to go, and next after planning they have to go for the design. So in the designing, so what the features can be implemented, so what are the features they are planned, according to that they have to design. So how the system will look like. So after implementing these features, so how the system will be look like. So they have to design, and next they have to build. So and finally they have to build the system. Okay, so this is the feature driven development. So these are the steps. So these are according to these steps. So what are the features? If the features, if the second step, in the second step the features are changed, so again the plan will be changed. If the plan will be changed, and again the design as well as the building of the project also will be changed. So this is about the feature driven development. And next, so next one is the lean software development, so LSD. So in this LSD, So lean software development, LSD. So in this LSD, what they have to do is, this is also one of the agile methods of the software development. In this method, this method is going to eliminate the first thing is waste. Whatever the waste things we have, so those waste things we have to eliminate in this lean software development method. As well as we can also develop the quality, we can also build the quality in. So we have to build the quality. So in this lean software development, we can also use so we have to respect the people. That means whoever the stakeholders are, maybe the stakeholders, maybe the users, or maybe the development team, they have to respect with each other. So this is the lean software development. This method is mainly useful for the some short period of projects. Whatever the projects we have to complete within a short time of period. So for those projects, this lean software development will be take down. This is about the lean software development. Lean is nothing but small. And next, coming to the agile modeling. So agile modeling is one of the model. So in this agile modeling, whatever the things we are considering, what are the documentation we have to do, everything is carried out in this agile modeling. So what is meant by agile? Agile, we have said that agile is nothing but it is implementing the changes. So whatever the changes we want to made in the existing product, so that is the agility. So like that, there is a one modeling, that is the agile modeling. So what we do in this agile modeling is, so there are some of the steps to follow in agile model. First one is a model with a purpose. So what is a model with a purpose? So whatever the design, whatever the product we are going to develop, it should have some purpose. So for which people it is going to use. So which people we have to, for which people it will be worked. So is a useful one, is worthful one or not. We have to think that in order to go for the agile modeling. So first point is a model with a purpose. So whatever the modeling or whatever the designing a product, it must have some purpose. So what is its purpose? For whom it is using? So by using this product, so what are the benefits we get? For the business purpose as well as for the customer oriented. So we have to think both the ways. And second one is the use multiple models. So what are the multiple models? That means in this model with a purpose, we can use the model the product with a UML, Unified Modeling Language. So next point is use multiple models. So different models we have. So what type of models I have to use? Whether I have to use a prototype. Prototype means already existed one. So by using the existed one, we have to make some changes. Like for example, this is a marker. I want to make some more changes in this marker. So what type of changes I can do? So the way of cap, the modeling of the cap, I can make some more designs. Or else I can, in the cylindrical way, it is in I can make the shape as in a square type. Like that, different models. Like that, whatever the product they are using, you go for the multiple models. And next one is a travel light. So travel light is nothing but how we are traveling, we make some light to go in order to avoid some disturbances, or in order to avoid some circumstances. So like that, in the project construction also, we have to make some light. What is the light? Is nothing but, here light means whatever the requirements, what is the documentation. So in the documentation, what are the things they have written. So what are the, from one step to another step moving, so what are the changes we have to make, and what are the things we have to consider. So that is given in the travel light. And next one is content is more important than representation. So whatever we are representing in that, the content is the most efficient, most valuable one. Because so if the content is no meaning, so what the other people, for example, the software development, one software development team has written the documentation. So whatever the words they are written, it should not understand only by themselves. It has to understand to everyone. So whatever they are writing, what are the changes they are implementing in the product, so everything they will note down in the document. So that document should be understandable to the every person. So whatever the content they are representing, it should be a more valuable one, so than the representation. And next fifth point is know the models and the tools you use to create them. So while developing of the software product, you have to know the product. So what are the tools you are going to develop? So we have the so many of the tools for so many products. So what type of tool you are using? So in order to use those tools, so what type of knowledge you have? So up to what extent you can remove the errors? So what extent you can remove the bugs? So how you can fix the bugs in the tool, whatever you're using the tool. So they have to know each and everything. And next one is adapt locality. So wherever you are using the product, wherever you are implementing the product, wherever the locality is, it should be adaptable to the person, the team members. They have to work. So in order to complete the project in a correct time. So this is the agile modeling. And next, coming to Agile Unified Process, AUP, the last method for the other agile models. So in this agile unified process, so we have in the first unit we have seen the unified process. So what is unified process? In unified process, they will carry out some activities like planning. So framework activities up to the deployment or delivery. So whatever the activities are, the framework activities, they will be carried in a unified manner. That is a unified process. So like that in the agile also we have the one of the processes, agile unified process. In this also we have the some of the activities. So we have up to some 6 activities. What are those 6 activities are? First one is modeling, next one is implementation, and thirdly testing, and fourth one is deployment, and fifth one is configuration and project management, and lastly environment management. So let us see what are they. First one is the modeling. So modeling is nothing but whatever we say is the modeling is nothing but we will use some unified modeling languages. So unified modeling languages, UML. So UML is the standard modeling language which is useful for the software development. Okay, so second one is the implementation. So in implementation, what type of implementation we have to implement? That means like in which environment you are going to implement. So in which type of language you are going to implement. So that is done in the implementation phase. And next, thirdly is the testing. So testing is nothing but, so whatever the implementation you have done, in the second step, the implementation what you have done, so you have to carry out some testing process. So whether the implemented product is correct way, you are getting the correct output or not. You are getting the, after giving the some input, you are getting the correct output. Whether it is giving the some errors while running on. Like that you have to test at each and every phase. So we have the different types of testings. Apart from any type of testing we can carry out according to the product. And next one is the deployment. Deployment is nothing but delivery. Delivery, that means after testing, if the product is working correctly as per the requirements of the customer or stakeholder, so we will give the product to the stakeholder, end user. That means the product what we are, whether that is a website or a product, whatever it is, you have to deliver to the customer. So that is a deployment. And next, for fifth point is configuration and project management. So configuration. So what type of configuration you are doing? That means what type of tools you are using and what type of environment you are using. Environment is nothing but what is the hardware specifications, what is the software specifications. So what is the configuration, what is the address, IP address, what IP address you are using. That is, and project management. Project management is nothing but the task. What are the tasks and control? So what are the things they are implementing in the development of the project. So project management is one of the team. They will carry out the task and control of the whole project, what they are doing. So that is the project management and configuration. And lastly is the environment management. So environment management is nothing but, so whatever, where the project is going to develop. So in what type of environment you have developed. For example, you have some servers. For example, we can say that some companies are maintaining some servers. So in order to maintain those servers, it has to maintain some cool temperature. So server means it has having the so many of the data over there. So in order to avoid the clashes or anything, so we have to maintain some room temperatures. So it has, should be some specifications over there. So in order to maintain like that for every project, what is the environment we have to maintain? So what is the things we have to consider in order to maintain that project? So that is will be carried out in the agile unified process. So this is about the other agile method processing. So by this we completed so all other models of the agile process. Thank you.